What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I'm your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined here by the man, Midwest Mike. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
Dude, how was your travels back?
It was good. It's a easy flight. It's
Good,
about
man.
an hour. It's about an hour once you get up in the air. They tell you it's like an hour 45 minutes, but it's pretty quick. So
Nice, man. That's always good.
easy flight.
I'm not much of a flyer, so if it's a quick
Yeah.
flight, that is always good, man. Um, but last night, how'd you finish? How'd you finish?
We went 1-3 on straights. We split NHL, hit the Blues, lost the Columbus team total over 2.5, and then lost Kansas and the over. And then we did hit a parlay, finished up a little over a unit on a parlay. So I don't even know, down 3-4 units or something yesterday. Mainly, guess what? Because of college basketball, man. And that's why I didn't play in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a real short slate, just 4 NHL. And I like Kansas to win, but I'm also not a guy saying, hey, spend minus 200 on the money line. So we rolled with the spread. They lost by a point.
Yep.
It's just kind of how the college basketball season went there. So towards the end. So literally went from being one of the hottest college handicappers in the first half and then one of the worst in the second half. So I'm just glad it's done. Can focus on two sports that I've made literally all my money on, and that is NBA and MLB. Up almost 90 units now in NBA and 124 in MLB. We got MLB starting. So, and then hopefully NHL. It's been a little weird here lately. NHL is kind of streaky. It's hot, and then weird shit happens for a little bit, then it turns again. So,
right.
But now it's just recognizing that kind of stuff and making adjustments quicker, and that's why you'll see a lot more NBA today, maybe one or two NHL, and parlays and that kind of stuff. But
Exactly, man.
that was my biggest mistake with college basketball this year, is not really recognizing it, not changing anything about it, and just kept doing the same volume. And yeah.
Well, man,
Learning
it's a
lesson.
tough situation because, you were insanely hot. I mean, the run you went on earlier or late last year was insane. And, don't, stop what's not broken, but it just kind of
It
wavered at
turned.
the end there. It turned, and
Yeah.
sometimes that happens. But like you said, thankful it's over. Definitely something that you're going to be revisiting next season and assessing it differently a little bit, which I think is great, dude. But like you said, on to the NBA here. You're running insane.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
29, 10, and 3 NBA run, 74% in the last 39 NBA plays. Went 7-1-1 this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So definitely, I got 4 NBA up right now. I got a couple more coming, 1 or 2 NHL, and that'll pretty much be the card. I think today's a good parlay day too.
Mm-hmm.
Some good spots for parlays as well. So looking forward to the card and hopefully stay hot in NBA and have a big week with NBA and MLB starting on Thursday. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
You are pumped. And, MLB starting on Thursday, which is fantastic. Two best sports rocking with hockey playoffs coming up. I'm excited. I'm excited to go on these next couple weeks with you because it's going to be absolutely fantastic. One thing I want to talk about before people start rolling in here, everybody throw your comments in the chat. If you guys want a game to be talked about, throw it in here. Mike shall give his 2 cents on it. My man T Dub, he's playing in the Masters, man.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Big Mike in the house. He's somebody you'll appreciate that. T Dub in the Masters. He's playing. He hasn't said that he's not yet, so that's pretty big just for the sport of golf, and for all of us Tiger lovers out there, because he was in a pretty serious accident over a year and a half ago or whatever. So just to see him out there competing is going to be fantastic. Mike, do you watch the Masters at all? And are you golf
I
guy on
don't.
Sunday?
I don't have patience to watch golf, man. It's not quick enough for me. Baseball's already borderline, you know.
Yeah, I get it. That must be why you like a lot of first fives, because you got to get over with. I see
Yeah,
it, man.
baseball is the sport I do like first half, first five type bets. I'm not a big first half and basketball, football, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
Dupel, what's going on, man? Actually, that's a
Big Mike.
game we can talk about. I think I like your Raptors quite a bit tonight, but we'll get to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got all Mikes in here right now. We got us, then our guy Mike, and then Big Michael Rodriguez in here throwing in a great comment here. You guys got to be VIPs. The Lions changed so much.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 games that are posted right now. I think one of them got almost 2 points CLV, another one 2 points, another one 3.5 points on a total CLV. So yeah, if your handicapper isn't putting out NBA plays the night before, I don't know what they're doing, because it's nice getting those in early, and most often it goes in our favor. I think last week we had 1 or 2 games where it didn't go in our favor, but that's a risk you take. And a lot of times, if you got a good read on it, it's still going to hit anyways. But getting those in early can be the difference between a win and a loss, and it's big over time. CLV, closing line value, is monstrous over time. So
100%, man. We got Austin Hammer in the house. Nuggets game. We may
Nuggets
or may
game, I
not be able
do.
to talk on that.
Yeah, I do have a play on that game. Well, if you're in here, it may or may not be a VIP play. I may got it at -6, and the line may be at -9 now. So
Yup. James P. Golf is the moneymaker. Top 10, top 20 plays. Yes. Lot of plus money in golf.
yeah,
A lot.
yeah. I've never handicapped that, so I can't really speak on that. But I know you can hit some of those big long shots, to win tournaments and stuff like that. And,
Yep.
you probably don't need to hit many of them to make money. If you can hit a couple tourneys here and there.
Right. And you don't have to invest, like a full unit or stuff like that. It's a lot of just different sprinkles and see what the hell happens, pretty much.
Yeah.
Austin Hammer thrown in Avs Penguins. This will be the first game we start off in NHL. Just want to get a couple more comments here. Matt, NBA totals are crazy today. What up, Matt? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Who else we got? All right. Landon, do you have a lean on the Oilers game? 5 units on the Oilers.
Yeah, I do. I like the Oilers in regulation. Yeah, it good shot that it's a VIP play. I already have it locked in. I think at -115, -120. That was like the last play I locked in before I fell asleep last night.
Nice.
And then got up, showered on the show here. So a lot of stuff will be happening in the portal here once the show's over. So
Love it.
But yeah, no, I do like Edmonton. It's hard not to. We were actually talking about that game last night. Let me pull it up again here. Edmonton has scored a ridiculous amount of goals here over their last few games. Let's see. So yeah, in the last 4 games, they've scored 6, 6, 6, and 4. So 3 out of their 4 games, they've scored 6 goals, 18. So they've scored 22 goals in their last 4 games and have given up 10. So 24-10 over their last 4, while the Sharks, and they're 1-3 in their last 4, and in 3 out of their last 4 games, they've scored just 2 goals, and they've been giving up a ton. They've given up 14 goals in their last 3 games. So it's tough not to like Edmonton here. Edmonton is also still in that playoff race. Let me pull that up here. Them and the Kings are battling, and the Kings, yeah, they lost to Calgary last night, but they keep winning, man. They keep they're banged up as shit. They got a ton of guys out.
Yeah.
And they keep finding ways to win games. Edmonton is actually 1 point behind the Kings still, 6 points behind the Flames. So this is a big game for Edmonton. And the Sharks may have some no, they're 66 points. They don't really have a shot, but yeah, it's a big game for Edmonton. They obviously want to at least get that 2 seed, if not try to catch Calgary. Calgary would probably have to go on kind of a little losing streak here for that to happen. But I think there's about 14 games left. So being down 6 points, even from first place in the Pacific, isn't out of the question. Calgary loses a few and Edmonton keeps winning. They could definitely take first place. So, but they at least want to get that second spot. There's no reason a banged up Kings team should be ahead of them right now in second place in the Pacific, in my opinion.
Yep.
The biggest issue with Edmonton has just been their goaltending, but they've been pretty solid lately. But they're just that team that can score way more goals than what they allow and win hockey games. So I thought about doing the puck line. We talked about last night. I'm not sure what it's at now, but last night it was like plus 135.
Yeah,
probably some decent value there. But when you can get the in regulation at minus 115, minus 120, I like that. So
yeah, I like that.
That'll probably be one of my NHL spots today.
There you go. You get that if you're watching the show. You get that if you're watching.
And I like it in it'll obviously probably be in a parlay or something too, just on the money line. But
love it, man. We got our guy Jaden in the house. UFC. This man eats in UFC. Love it. Good, man.
Yes, he does.
Imonte Jr. in the house. Nuggets minus 9.5.
Yeah, I got that at -6 last night. I liked it at 6. I very rarely buy a full point, but the reason I did that, I wanted to get it as close to the opening line as possible. So the line was -7. I bought a point. So I got -6, minus 130 for 2 units. DeJounte Murray's obviously out. Jacob Pedal, however you say his name, he is probable, questionable, depending on which injury report you're reading. I've seen questionable, I've seen probable, but there's a shot he doesn't even suit up. And he might not be a household name that you guys are very familiar with, but he's kind of the Spurs big man, and he'd be a big loss. I mean, even if he plays, the Joker should have another field day, probably have another triple-double. It's crazy watching him. Seriously,
I love him.
Like even on Sunday, watching that Lakers game, like you just watching it, you'd be like, he played all right. And then you look at the stat line, like 2 assists away or whatever from a triple-double. He had a double-double at halftime. I mean, it's crazy.
He is nuts, man. And he was 2 assists away on Friday when we were at the sports book. Again,
Yep.
I mean, and you really see with that Nuggets team, man, when he's not in there, bro, it's like they don't know what the fuck to do.
Cousins did better on Sunday against the Lakers versus Friday. Remember Friday? I mean, he looked like he was drunk or high or something. He just came in, played 4 minutes, committed 5 fouls in 4 minutes, and complained with every call when he's hacking people, and that shit drives me nuts. But he did play better on when he plays all right. Like actually Sunday against the Lakers, Joker was able to get more of a rest because he was playing all right, and he was bodying guys down low in the paint and scoring and rebounding, and I think he maybe even hit a 3. But yeah, it's depends which boogie you get.
Yeah, so. Exactly. 100% on that, man. 100%.
You know he'll be complaining though about every single call, whether he punches the guy in the face or what. It's
he didn't touch him. He didn't touch him.
No.
Exactly, man. And I kind of feel bad for the guy. I was telling you this on Friday. Guy's had kind of a dark cloud over him ever since he got injured, man. Ever since he got injured, he's cut off TV. I still do too. Before we get to this Avs Penguins spot, in case anybody doesn't know or didn't see, you probably did. You should have. But we were in Chicago. Well, Mike flew down to Chicago for the weekend, Friday and Saturday. Friday, we spent at the sports book. Saturday, we went to the Bulls game. We were courtside, Miami Heat. Mike hit his play of the day. If you guys want to see how all that went down, we posted up a vlog, first style of content for Mike in this way. And this is the type of stuff that I bring to the brand, where I film it and edit it and do all that stuff. And I kind of want to, like I keep saying, bring the lifestyle aspect to Midwest Mike Sports. So you guys go check that out. It's live on the YouTube channel right now. Also, all the different posts that we made on TikTok, Instagram, it really helps us out if you guys just give those a like and comment on there, because it helps with the algorithm and it really helps, the brand grow with getting new eyes on it. But Mike, you want to touch on anything over the weekend? Anything you want to say about it?
It was fun. Good time meeting you. I had a great time at the Bulls Heat game.
Likewise, man.
Friday sucked, but we made up for it on Saturday. Had a big day Saturday. And last week, guys, there was, I would say, 4 or 5 probably at least parlays that we didn't hit. Like I'm not kidding. Those 2 12-unit days we had and the 1 8-unit day could have been double that. Losing the Wild versus the Penguins in overtime, that was like a 10-unit swing. Yeah. So once these big swing games start to hit, that's when you have 30, 40-unit weeks. So I'm excited for that to happen. I'm excited for MLB to come. The sports book was fun. Love that. Yeah. And I realized something while I was down there because I didn't know you guys could buy goals on team totals there at the kiosk. You can pretty much set your own lines.
It's all that legal stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I'm doing these parlays and stuff, I thought most people can't do that. But you guys can do more than what even I can do at these kiosks and shit. So it's good to know. It's good to know. I can't wait for it to be legal everywhere because there's some stuff that like I'll do on my own that I can't post because not everyone can do it and stuff. But I'm finding out that a lot of you guys can do this stuff. So
yeah. For sure, man. For sure. But yes, everybody go check out that vlog and go see how everything went down. It was definitely a fun weekend. It was great meeting you in person, Mike. We got our guy Gary in the house. Cheers. Cheers, Gary. Cheers. All right, let's get to that. Austin, I apologize. Let's get to that Avs Penguins spot, Mike. You got anything on that one? Can we touch on it?
Haven't dug into it a whole lot, but if I'm not mistaken, the Penguins are just behind the Rangers. Yeah, they're 2 points behind the Rangers, sitting third in the Metropolitan Eastern Conference. The Rangers have been playing bad lately. Obviously, we know that because we've been on them. Like bad, like not. I mean, they came alive towards the end at the Flyers game, but most of that was in the last period. Part of the end of the second period there. It was almost 5 straight periods the Rangers didn't score a goal. And Chesterkin is not looking good. He's given up a lot of goals. Not to talk about the Rangers here, but Penguins are 2 points behind them. The Penguins and Avs just played on Saturday. It was an afternoon game. They lost 3-2, I believe, in overtime. If I'm not mistaken, I think it went to overtime. That was about when we were leaving to go to the Bulls Heat game.
Right.
And I kind of like the Penguins in this spot. Let me see about the goalie confirmations here. I mean, the Penguins are clearly probably a little more motivated. You got Kemper and you got Jari. Yeah. Let's see. Did Jari start on? Yeah, he did. He did. And he gave up 3. Okay. So, yeah, he also played against the Avs on Saturday as well. I haven't dug into this one a whole lot, but I'd lean Penguins. The Avs just beat them on their home ice. Now they travel to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh gets them on their home ice. I think it might be kind of a buy low spot here on Pittsburgh. I think they've lost like 4 of their last 6. The Avs have won 4 of their last 5. Their only loss was to the Wild. Yeah, but I mean Pittsburgh. Okay, so yeah, Pittsburgh beat Minnesota, which is good because Minnesota's red hot right now. They lost to the Avs 3-2. They lost to the Rangers 3-2. They destroyed the Red Wings 11-2. So I mean, yeah, they lost to the Rangers, lost to the Avs, but they're good teams. They lost to them by 1 goal. What's the line on it?
Let's see here.
It's got to be, I don't know, 110, 120, something like that, probably.
Penguins, yeah. Penguins on the money line minus 115.
Okay.
Minus 115. Austin has the Avs plus 1.5 in a few parlays. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably a good look too. I mean, I don't think Pittsburgh's just gonna blow them out the door. You know what I mean? It'll probably be another close, tight game. So, Yeah, Avs plus 1.5 can be a great parlay piece. This isn't a game I'm probably gonna touch, in
Mm-hmm.
NHL here tonight. Like I was talking about earlier, I kind of like that Edmonton spot probably the most in
Right.
regulation. Um, that Toronto, Florida total looks a little interesting, or maybe a team total. I haven't seen what each team totals are at.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's high. I know it's 7, but you're getting Toronto and you're getting Florida. I think there's a good bet that still goes over 7.
Right.
So I like that. I kind of like Florida there too, maybe in a parlay. Bounce back. Um, Toronto won last night, big game versus Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good look last night. For any of you guys that had it, I did not, but um, I like the over, or maybe a 2-team parlay. The Panthers and the over there. I
Mm-hmm.
think you can risk maybe like 0.9 units to win 2 and a little 2-team parlay. Kind of like that. I was looking at that last night.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the Rangers play the Devils. I ain't gonna touch that. The Rangers, the way they've been playing lately, I cannot back them for a third straight game.
Yup.
The Wild Nashville game is interesting. Nashville's dominated the Wild this year, but the Wild are red hot right now. Obviously, they got Fleury. Um, 3 out of their last 4 wins, they've given up just 1 goal. They beat the Caps 5-1, Carolina 3-1, Philly 4-1. Minnesota's hot right now, and I I'm not sure where the public's betting, but I know that line's moving. It flipped. Nashville's now the favorite from what it was last night. So you can probably even get the Wild at plus money, but
Let me check for you. So it's looking like Wild is getting about 80% of the money on the money line.
so reverse line movement then.
Correct.
Huh, interesting.
Yep. So that is definitely interesting for sure. And even on the puck line, they're getting 76%.
Have they announced?
Let me see on projected goalies here.
Yeah, it's
Fleury's
Fleury and
expected.
Saros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fleury's expected, but
interesting.
definitely. I
Not
me
probably not going to
uh,
touch that one either tonight, but
yeah. Me
maybe if you could
personally,
get the
when I
Wild
look
plus 1.5 in a parlay or something.
yeah. Yeah, man. When I see that reverse line movement, man, my eyes light up. Woo.
Yeah, I know you love that shit.
I love that shit, man. I love it. Big Jaden saying he already saw the vlog. Mike was in a big mood, filled with energy. Yes, that is the goal, people. That's the goal, to shoot Mike in a different light. I think everybody gets all caught up that Mike just gives a free play every day and hops on and says his record and that's it. And, he's a very animated guy. He's so passionate about this, guys. The guy almost broke my arm. He punched me so damn hard because the Bruins hit while we were sitting at the game.
At the Bulls game,
At
yeah.
the Bulls game.
Well, we needed it for the parlay, man. I was
Dude, we
pumped,
were
man.
both pumped, man. It was a blast. And that's what I want to bring to this, is show you guys that different side of Mike, because it's insanely relatable. He's just like us. Don't think of him just as a guy that comes on and says his shit and gets the hell off, because that's not him. It's not the whole picture. So go check it out. Go check it out. Okay, NBA, massive slate.
Oh
What
my
do you want
god,
to talk?
yeah.
What do
I
you want to
love it.
touch on first?
What games you guys want to talk about? Obviously I got plays on some games that I can't really talk about.
Right.
Um, the Toronto game. Let's talk about that. I may even do 3 units on this game.
Mm.
Just going to be upfront. Toronto right now, do you want to check it? Are they still getting 1% of the money? And the
Let me
line
give
ain't.
that a shot here. So Raptors right now on the money line money, getting
No,
44.
the spread. The
Oh, on the
spread.
spread, 6%.
6%. And that line is staying put at the 4.
Yeah.
All night last night. Been watching this shit all day. All
Mhm.
night last night, all day today. It went up from 1% to 6% of the money. So you got the Toronto Raptors getting 6% of the money on the spread. The public is pounding the Hawks because they're red hot right now.
Mhm.
Um, public is just pounding them, and they're leaving the spread alone. It's still at +4 for the Hawks, and everyone's taking it. So the books are leaving the line there at the +4. Everyone's pounding the shit out of it. The books are loving it because they're not changing it, right?
They're getting ready to eat good tonight, Mikey.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta's won 5 straight. They've scored damn near 130 points average almost in their last 5 games. They've covered the spread in every single one. But Toronto's 5-1 and 4-2 against the spread in their last 6. Yes, they just lost to the Heat. You know, they had Lowry coming back, all that bullshit. But if you look at the standings, the Raptors are in 6th, tied for the Bulls pretty much. They have identical record as the Bulls. So the Bulls play the Bucks tonight. So there's a decent shot. That spread is 5.5. So there's a decent shot. The Bucks beat the Bulls, don't lose 3 straight, beat the Bulls. The Raptors win this game. Now they're in the 5 seed. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a big game. The Hawks are in the A seed. They're a game and a half behind the Cavs for the 7 seed. Cavs play the Magic tonight. I think the Hawks are pretty much going to have to win out. I mean, to have a shot at really moving up or anything. They're a game ahead of the Hornets and the Nets. So, I mean, a lot of stuff can happen there. Obviously, both teams have motivation. But with Collins out especially, I think the Raptors are going to feast down low in the paint as far as rebounds. And the line says a lot, man. The line says a lot, and it ain't moving. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Everyone is on the Atlanta Hawks today. The line ain't moving.
Yeah, man. I mean, when the line doesn't move, man, I'm a big, and Mike got to know that over the weekend. I'm a big guy on that. And obviously I don't give picks here by any means, but I'm a big guy on when the line doesn't move and stuff like that. So if you like it, I like being on the Raptors side, just me personally here. But
Yep.
let's see, is there any other game that was thrown in here? Any new comments? Our guy Mike, he locked the Raptors in at -2.5, -130.
I like that.
Beautiful, man. Is there any other game you want to touch on, Mike? Because I know you got spots up.
And yeah, and as far as this Hawks game, I mean, the Raptors defense has been playing extremely well. So I don't see the Hawks coming in dropping 130 on the Raptors tonight. You know what I mean? Everyone's so high on them because they're so hot, and I think this is probably one of those little public trap games. Everyone's on the Hawks, and I just the line says a lot. It hasn't moved at all. Nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You got 94% of the money on the Hawks, 6% of the money on the spread on the Raptors, and the line isn't doing nothing. It says a lot. So
it does, and they're just coming off a win, which we both cashed on against. It was a home win against the Nets. Atlanta. Talk about Atlanta here, and they're a different team on the road.
Yeah,
we talked about that as well.
Oh yeah. If you've been VIP with me this NBA season, you know that I talked about the Hawks road and home splits quite a bit. The Hawks are kind of like Portland Trailblazers were in the beginning of the season. They sucked on the road and were so good at home.
Right.
That was when obviously Damian Lillard was playing, but the Hawks, the same thing. I don't have the exact numbers on me, but they ain't that good on the road. They're and playing in Toronto now with full capacity and a stadium full of fans.
Yeah.
I mean, that hasn't been like that all season. You know what I mean? So there's a good shot that I'm going to be on the Raptors. I already have 1 3-unit POD up. This could very well be a second one. We'll see.
I absolutely love it, my man. Since it's on ESPN, why don't we touch on the Bucks and the Bulls? I always like to touch on the TV games for people. So,
yeah. let's see. So the Bucks obviously lost 2 straight. They lost to the Clippers, which they rested everybody. Still surprised that they got their ass kicked by that. I was pissed I didn't look at the over. We were at the book that day. And then they lost to the Mavs on Sunday, with everyone playing and everything. These two teams kind of heading in opposite directions, man. The Bulls have been slipping.
Very
Bucks
much.
though have lost 2 straight, but the Bucks are pretty much tied for the Sixers right now with the 3rd seed. They're both a half game back of Boston. The Bucks have also dominated this series. They're 15-1 in their last 16 against the Bulls. 10-1 in their last 11 against the spread at the United Center. The Bulls are just 5-13 against the spread in their last 18. They're 7-24 straight up as a dog. Bucks are 7-2 against the spread, last 9 as a favorite, 9-4 against the spread, last 13 on the road. I'm probably not going to touch this game. We were talking about this game earlier. I was kind of maybe looking at the over, but that should have been one that I posted last night if I was going to play it because it already moved 5 points. Now it's up to I think like 233, 234, something like that.
Yeah,
but I could see Chicago covering the spread. I just think the Bucks win. But I don't know if I'd lay 5.5, whatever it is right now, the Bucks on the road, versus the Bulls. I think it could be a tight game. I think the Bucks win. Just like they've been finding ways to win games against the Sixers, the Nets. Those were 2 huge games.
Which you cashed on both.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't love the spread really either way. That's just me. But I do think the Bucks win. I think Bucks money line could be a parlay piece or something. That's just my take. But I know you got some feelings on this game. I know you're looking at the Bulls. What do you think?
I am. All right. So, I mean, I think the line's a little weird. I think Chicago needs to tune up, man. And they just came off a pretty big loss against Miami at home. We saw it. They started out looking decent, but Zach LaVine was basically the only one carrying them that game. And the Bucks are kind of lackadaisical right now, man. Whereas the Bulls, they kind of need to string some wins together here just to kind of tune up before playoffs because they've looked so damn bad. And they don't have the easiest schedule closing out here. They got the Bucks, Boston, the Hornets, and the Timberwolves. So, I mean, I like you. I'm not sure if they win the game, but I think 5.5 is a little weird because, I mean, God, I just think it's a little weird. I'd line this thing at like 7, me personally. I think Minnesota's a bigger favorite. So, I think you're getting, I don't know. I think you're getting some value here on the Bulls. Got to remember how they were playing early on in the year, but that's my 2 cents, which means absolutely nothing here.
Yeah.
Austin throwing in a game here. What about Memphis +5? Now,
this is one we were talking about too.
Yes, sir.
I guess it kind of depends. I mean, I know Memphis have a couple of guys out. They've been playing with those guys out for a while.
Right.
I guess it depends how many minutes those starters get and how much they really care to win this game. Utah has been bad.
Yep.
But I think the line coming out at -5 is kind of trying to tell you something there. If I was to back anyone here, I'd actually probably take the Jazz -5. Yes, Memphis is red hot. I have a play on the total on this game. All right. So I have a 3-unit play of the day on the total on this game. So it might not be a game that I touch, but Utah money line. Yeah. But Utah money line might be a parlay piece. Utah, I mean, has to win. They play their best ball at home. I know they've been, they played some at home here lately too, I think, and lost those. But
yeah,
but Memphis is also one of those teams that they just don't give a shit. They just keep winning games. You know what I mean? So
right.
I love the total here. So that's all I'm probably going to touch in this game. I put that up last night. It's a tough one. because I could see Memphis just doing what Memphis does and covering, if not winning the game outright, playing hard every night like they usually do. And I could see them maybe, kind of resting some guys, not playing a ton of minutes, and Utah taking care of business and getting the W. But so Utah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of Utah's last 8 games have been on the road, guys. You got to look at that. Yeah. 7 out of 8. So, and we know Utah's a lot better team at home. That's a brutal road trip in the NBA at the end of the season. That is freaking brutal. That's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And they did win. They did win the only home game they had there. It was against the Lakers.
Against the Lake Show. Yep.
And they lost there. They won by 13 as 13.5-point favorites. So, and you look before that, okay, so they beat the Lakers. They didn't cover by a half point. They won by 13, though. The home game before that against the Clippers, they won by 29 as 5.5-point favorites. The game before that against the Bulls, they won by 15 as 7-point favorite. So it's a tough one, but honestly, if I was to roll with something, I'd probably take Utah minus the 5 here. Obviously, a lot more motivated. They play a lot better at home, and I think everyone's thinking the same thing and hammering Memphis because Memphis is Memphis. Don't matter if they're on the road. It don't matter if they got injuries. They're getting 5 points. You got to take that to sprinkle a little on the money line, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what the books want you to do with this line. And like I said, Utah 7 out of their last 8 games on the road. That's right. Brutal. They haven't played since the first now. They've had some rest now, some time off. They've also been dealing with some little injuries here and there. So I like Utah at home tonight if I had to take it.
I concur with that. We got our guy Tyler in the house. Memphis defies all logic. Yes, they seem to be doing so. My 2 cents on this one, because I do have a 2 cents on this game. I don't think that there's any reason, if you look at recent form, why Utah would be favorited. They do look bad. And I think when they are favorited by this much, it's because of that home record. And why would Memphis be getting so many points coming in off of big winning streak? They defy all logic, different stuff like that. I think that this is a Jazz home spot. I think it's a nice home stand that they need to tune up, man. And it begins tonight. That's my take. I will 100% be on the Jazz as a personal play for myself. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And it's very reminiscent of the game that we just talked about with the Raptors and Hawks. It's very reminiscent of that, where it's like, take the Hawks, please take the Hawks, and it's working.
Raptors Jazz money line 2-team parlay.
Ooh. Might have to. A little show cook up, unofficial parlay, or maybe it is official. I don't know. Jaden, here's a fun one. If you could describe the NCAA basketball season in one word, what would it be?
Horseshit.
I was gonna be a little kinder. I was gonna say roller coaster. That's one word.
Yeah,
right?
that's kind of
hyphen in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah, pretty much like falling off a cliff. You're at your peak, up a shit ton, and then just gave it all back plus lost some. That's pretty much what happened. So literally, dude, I was up fucking over 50 units and ended up down like 35. Come on, dude. It's almost 100 units swing in fucking 2-3 months.
It's
fucking joke.
Unreal. It really is. Tyler's saying trap line for sure. Potential. Definitely potential.
You gotta look out for that kind of stuff, guys. You got to. When it seems too good to be true, do some digging, because it usually is.
Especially in the NBA, when they just lay it out there for you, they're ready to rip the rug right under your feet. You'll fall flat on your ass. That's just
I got a write-up coming on my total on that game. Got a good feel on that total. So all my write-ups and stuff will be coming here shortly after the show.
Beautiful.
And yes, I got MLB on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
So
Let's touch on that.
that's exciting.
Yeah, let's touch on that, man. What's your season preview, or you got any early looks for Thursday, or just want to talk on
I
it?
haven't even started digging into it yet, man. How many games we got on Thursday?
It's a decent slate. It's a decent slate. 1, 2,
Is it?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games.
Okay.
It's decent.
Yeah.
It's definitely decent. And I guess we might as well ask people in here. Would you guys like to see potentially? We don't even know if our schedules will allow it, but we just want to get a little take. Would you guys potentially want an MLB opening day show? Pop on here. We just talk MLB. That's it. I mean, obviously, if you guys got questions on other games, we might be able to touch on it, but we're just seeing if you guys would like that. Throw it in the chat. We were thinking about potentially doing something for opening day because Mike loves him some baseball, man. Tyler's in.
James P, as far as a local book, well, what state you in, James P?
Yep. Well, probably not a legal one, I guess. How many states aren't legal now, Mike? Do you know? Do you know all the states that aren't legal?
I would guess. I think it's under 10 now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Around 10. Minnesota is always one of the last ones. Wisconsin, they have it in 2 books now. One of them happens to be 40 minutes from my house. They're opening up on the 15th. The other one's in Green Bay. But it's one of those where you have to go there in person to do it. There's no apps. Minnesota's going to be getting the apps and all that stuff. So
nice.
Hopefully by the end of the year. But
James P saying MN, that's Minnesota, correct?
Oh, you're in Minnesota. Huh. Send me a DM, James. I had no idea you're in Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota, obviously. So.
Yep. But Mike, we did see on the sports book they're building them all in the Chicago stadiums, man. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be awesome. And I think the Green Bay one, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be by Lambeau, correct?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Green Bay is one of those cities you're driving on the road and all of a sudden you see Lambeau Field on your right.
Legit, it's on the highway, man. Yep.
Yeah.
I spent many times there with my dad at Packers games. We absolutely love it. Potentially somewhere where we could go this NFL season, man, because it's football heaven, bro. It really, really is. I like when you see it, you're gonna be like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'd go there for a Vikings game for sure. I haven't done that yet. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
Hopefully it's earlier on in the year too, so it's not 40 below. Run that risk.
Oh yeah. Because you're used to the domes over there, man.
Yeah.
You gotta go in Lambeau and freeze your ass off. That's how you do it.
We had that at TCF while they're building US Bank, and I went to that Vikings Seahawks game, which was one of the coldest games in history when it was almost 40 below. Mm-hmm. And you cracked a beer, you had 30 seconds to drink it or it's frozen. No lie. It was nuts.
That's insane, man. You know, I noticed that because I've been to so many cold games, whether it be at Soldier in Chicago or in Lambeau in Green Bay. When I went to that Buccaneers Colts game this year, man, in the dome, when it was freezing outside, it was so nice. I mean, I had my jeans on, my jersey. I get the dome life, man. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Jaden throwing in some love for me, man. Mike Klean is the type of guy you want to drink a beer with. I take pride in it. We like to have fun for sure. But that pretty much concludes today's show, guys. A little bit shorter than usual. But Mike, do you have any closing notes here?
We will let you know about the possible MLB, the MLB opening day show, and then expect some write-ups and a couple more plays to be posted here shortly. And then obviously the parlays. And let's have a day. I'm just excited college basketball's over now. It was so good at first and then just turned so bad. Um, Literally, like I was saying earlier, up almost 90 units in NBA. Literally went from being up 54 to almost 90 here in just the last 2 weeks. 29-10 NBA run for almost 40 units, 40 grand over the last couple of weeks here. So look to keep that rolling, start MLB hot, and things should be good. I mean, hit some big parlays, sprinkle those in on top of everything else, and
Yep.
we'll be just fine. So I'm excited for it.
It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. But thank you guys so much for watching. I always say it, and I'll keep saying it. You guys make the show what it is. Thank you for all your comments. But as always, everybody invest wisely and let's live freely.